Greetings and salutations.
Ooh, caught it just in time. Oh, that was crazy. I almost missed it. Here, let me find my... And there's a little bit of an echo. Echo. Let me just turn it down. Hold on, guys. You guys getting an echo? I'm getting a little bit of an echo. Or does it sound good? Yeah, that was little Nikki. I just want to know if I'm getting an echo before I just a slight one. Well, let me just turn this down one more notch. We'll try it like that for a little bit. If it's super annoying, guys, just let me know. Hey, welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show. I am Sam. And it is beautiful Manic Monday. Yeah, I thought I'd share a little bit of little Nikki just in tribute of today's show. Not that we're going to be talking about Adolf, but we are going to be talking about the other R word. And here after a little bit, I'll start using the word. You just never know with, hey, good morning, Sherry. Thank you so much for being a mod and helping me out with everything that you do. I really appreciate you. Yeah, once we get going, I'll be able to say whatever I want and I'll have no worries. Had an amazing birthday week last week. I went to, it's called Kitchapee. It's spelled super crazy. It's a Native American area here in Montana, and there's like camping there. And we went camping and had a blast. That was the first time we had gone camping as a family ever. And it was pretty amazing. It was much needed. I feel rejuvenated 1,000,000,000%. I don't think I don't think even if I would have taken 4 days off from everything from tattooing and from After the Bars and Legal Livewire, I don't think I would have got the same type of rejuvenation. Somebody a while back told me I needed to get into nature, and I'm not really a mountain, and it's this is going to sound crazy because I'm from Montana, or I live in Montana. I'm from Los Angeles. So I'm not really like a mountainy type of nature guy. I'm more of an ocean guy. Even though like living in LA, only like an hour and a half from mountains, and you know, we could go snowboarding or skiing, although I suck at snowboarding. Great surfer, great skateboarder, suck at snowboarding. Have that make sense to you. Have that make sense to me. Anyways, but I'm an ocean guy. I've always been an ocean guy. I love the ocean. I love the smell of the ocean. I love how when you get like 3/4 of a mile away from the ocean, you can start to smell it mixed in with the city smell. And if I could bottle it and put it in a spray, I would spray it on me in my car, in my truck, in my house. I love those two smells. Not so much the urine city smell, which there is a little bit of that, you know, once you get closer to like West LA and Hollywood. But I'm talking about like the city beachy smell, like in Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach, the area where I grew up. That smell is amazing. So, yeah, so I don't think I could have done it any other way but have gone camping and became kind of one with nature and forged for wood and had a campfire and what else did we do? I mean, we really just like hung out with each other as a family, and it was pretty badass. I did watch the Karen Reed trial, which I'm kind of doing now too, as I'm to be doing the show. I hope it doesn't distract me too much, but it's the third day of State Trooper Belchnik. What's his name again? I can't remember. It's like Belchnik or something like that. Anyways, he's getting destroyed by Alan Jackson, and Karen Reed's going to go home free. And that's good because she's innocent and she's been framed. But anyways, we're not going to talk too much about that today. We got lots of other things to talk about, don't we? Over the weekend, and I hesitated on even talking about it, but it's an important subject, and I don't, because there's two ways to look at it, because Reese will say, oh, and they're gonna reply to this. This is my best Reese impersonation. My nose is red, but my cheeks aren't. They're just gonna reply to this with their smoke and mirrors, and it's just so ugly. Not her per se. I don't think she's ugly, but her personality is real ugly. Like, oh, the smoke and mirrors, and they're gonna come with their tricks and their AI and their edited texts. And when she said edited texts, she had to have been talking about me, because I responded to Reese with texts that weren't edited. That's why I did it in a video form instead of just images, right, of my scrolled text. And I knew at some point I might have to do a part 2 and 3, and I was going to release part 2 and 3, but I'm going to hold off on that. And the reason why is because, and I've been holding off on it, and she wants to accuse me and us and whoever, this community, Marilyn, Knife Hoarder, Susie, Goot, and we're not even really all in the same community. We all have our own communities, right? We all have our own communities. And then there's some overlappers, right? And we're trying to integrate, the people and each other's communities that will like our style and our content. It doesn't mean like if you support me, you have to go support Susie or Marilyn or Knife Hoarder, or if you support Knife Hoarder that you have to come support, everyone else. That's not what we're saying. I don't think not one time has any one of us ever said, hey, go check out Susie's channel, or hey, go check out Marilyn's channel. We might have had each other on, like I haven't been on a show with Marilyn, but that's probably going to be sometime in the future. And I don't know a lot about Marilyn or history, and that's why I want to talk to her. Is I want to know what led her to YouTube, right? Just like I wanted to know what led Susie to YouTube, and so. And I'm just talking about those two in particular. Like, there's many other creators that I'm in contact with that I will be on their shows. There's Surviving Together, and there's Blood on the Razor Wire. There's tons of prison shows that reach out to me and want to hear my story. And I won't do all of them. And some of them are pretty big and I could get some clout. But the people that will come to my show from those shows, I don't want on my show. So I politely decline, because they glorify the prison culture a little bit, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. They glorify punking out people, for whatever reason. There's tons of reasons. Aside from like ratting and being a trauma, there's like all these other little reasons, right? And I'm not about that culture. I wasn't about it before I went to prison. And I'm not about it now, where I've grown into, I was in Rome and do as the Romans, and then got out. And that's just a light way to put it. I'm going to really get into and talk about what my experience was when I went to prison and who I was before that and who I became. And then after being saved, what I became again. And there's nuances to that. And there's all kinds of things to talk about today. And then what we are as a community and how we are responding. So to get back to my point, because she says, they're going to come out, they're smoking mirrors. I was just like, no, I'm not going to say shit. But there's this new term out there, this reverse Scientology psychology. You might have heard it, right? I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to go with my heart and what I'm going to do. And my heart wants to talk about this subject. So I'm not going to let it stop me. And then she can be right about me, us all responding. Because there's a little bit of us that want to say, no, I'm not going to respond. You're not going to, you're not going to be right about that. No, Reese, you are going to be right about that. You are going to be right about it. Just how I know you're going to be right. I'm going to be right when you respond to this. And when you don't do this kind of content, but for since the pathological lying thunder video that you did, that I totally disproved for all of us. And I'll disprove it again. And I have a part 2 and a part 3 that get a little more personal with some texts that I received from who. And he told you he sent me those texts. And I have them all. And so I remember that those couple of days after, Reese, when you were like, he's gonna say something more, and I'll show you the text of you texting me this. I know he's got something more. I'm just gonna come out in front of it. I'm just gonna get out in front of it. And that's when she started doing, I'm not a good person. Remember the couple of days after, I just want you guys to know that I'm not a good person and I'm working on myself. She only did that because she thought that Tommy was going to release all this other proof that he has. And to be fair, he never did. But he did share them with me. Well, he shared some of them. He shared the ones that had to do with me. And there just happened to be a little bit more in there. So I don't know. I'm going to hold off on that. And because I don't want this to be a tit for tat. I just want to respond to what she's saying about my community. No, she never said anything about my community, about me. And I'm a representative of this community. And about the others that she talked about. And she only gave me like honorable mention. She wasn't really out to get me, and I'm not really out to get her. And that's another reason why I'm not going to go full blown scorched earth, whatever the saying is, right? But I am going to respond to what weaponizing racism is and what race baiting is, and all of the things that surround that. And then I'm also going to talk about some solutions. I'm not just going to talk about the problem. I'm not just going to respond to her and talk about what a bitch she is and be a bully about it, because I don't think we've ever been a bully here at After the Bars regarding her. Not ever, not one time. The reason why I responded with a video is because I couldn't trust my emotions about the situation. I couldn't trust that I wouldn't just go off and start calling her the C word. And I don't ever use the C word. I don't even use the P word for that genitalia. Ask my wife. I wish she was here. She would tell you. I find it to be aggressive. The P-U-S-S-Y. I can't say it. I hate it. I wouldn't even call another man that if I'm trying to get him to fight. There's plenty of other words that I can get people to fight me over if I want to fight. Right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. It's good. I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to talk to you guys. And we are just going to have a blast, and I will be right back. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas.
Wake
I didn't mean to cut that out. I was just trying to get to my website thing. Damn it. Damn it. I really wanted to see the end of that. Anyways, welcome back. Today's sponsor is mayhemnews.com, where you can get After the Bars merchandise. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, and we have lots more coming up. Lots more. We got Samster shirts, Sam Fam shirts, hats, Samsters hats. That's really it right now. And there's just a few designs, but we have all shapes and sizes. I haven't been plugging it that hardcore because I couldn't figure out a way to get the money into my bank account. For some reason, it wasn't working, and it's really not working still. And I have until tomorrow to figure that out, or they're just going to close my finance portion of that out, and I'll just have to figure something else out. But I did send the first hoodie out this week to I think it was Grateful. I know what the real name is on the order. Anyways, that's on its way. And yeah, so mayhemnews.com for merchandise. There will be lots of other things I'm going to be putting up there. What we're talking about today, I'm going to have available as a download, as like kind of a lesson, or like a solution. I'm calling it the truth solution to race baiting and weaponizing racism. It's all going to be printed out and for you guys to download for free. It's not going to be for sale or anything. And I'm going to start doing some more things like that. And then whenever I have like Diddy's docket sheet when the trial gets going, I'm going to have like his docket sheet and his indictment and everything, and like reading materials for some of the news stories we're covering. And, evidence for documentaries like the Dr. Weiner documentary I'm doing that I already started. Part 1 is out. Part 2 is in the can. Just need to toast it up a little bit, which is just like post-production stuff, titles, music, things like that. So yeah, that'll all be available at mayhemnews.com. Don't forget to go there. Don't forget to check it out. And then I'll only mention this once. There's a link in the chat pinned to the top. That's for tips and donations to keep this content blazing forward. Times are tough, and that's all I'm gonna say. Sad fish it, whatever it is. I'm just saying, times are really tough. Like, I was surprised that we're not seeing the little StreamYard duck up in the corner because I haven't been able to pay my StreamYard. But they let me do it again. This is like day 5. They've let me go without, paying my thing. So I'm surprised it's not there, but I'm glad it's not there. And yep, that's all I got to say about that. So anyways, guys. Oh yeah, Kiki Cookerson says, release the Kraken, Sammy. And the reason why I pinned this up there, because I know you guys all read it. It's because I'm doing a tattoo of a Kraken this week, which is crazy. It's like a Kraken coming out of the water, tackling a ship. I'm doing it at the end of the week. So I'm super excited about that. And I just thought it was a coinky dink. Anyways, Mr. Man, your red nose is giving me Raggedy Andy vibes. Yeah, it is, right? Yeah, I got a lot of sun this week. I'm actually surprised that I'm not darker than I thought I was. I don't use sunscreen. I just go out there and burn. And I did not spend any time inside, except for brief moments to cool down for maybe a millisecond. The girls had me running the air conditioning all. I know you guys are like, wait, camping air conditioning? Yeah, we have a generator and we run it so Hazley can watch her YouTube channels, and it just happens to have air conditioning too. But for the most part, we toughed it out. We didn't shower. We didn't do anything that was any kind of glamping at all. That's what they call it up here. They call it glamping. If you have like this is an old RV from the mid 80s. There's nothing glamping about this RV whatsoever. It's not broken down. It's pretty nice actually for how old it is. But yeah, like we didn't cook anything on the stove. What else did we do that was pretty much roughing it? We foraged for our own wood to burn. Yeah, so it was pretty badass. Let's say good morning to a few people. Let me get my mouse over here. I have 4 screens, and sometimes my mouse gets lost in all the other screens. So I'm just going to right click it and see where it's at. There it is. Nope. Oh, it's right there, but it's not. See, that's what I like about Apple. You can just like shake it and it'll get big. Dude, I'm really losing my mouse. Okay, we're just going to go to the trackpad. And oh, you know what? It said the batteries were getting low yesterday. Oh man, I might have to change that. Anyways, good morning, Sherry. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being a mod and all the help that you do. Speaking of mods, before I get going, Wolfie will no longer be a part of the show as a moderator. If she comes and hangs out with the show, that would be awesome. She didn't leave on any kind of bad terms or anything. She just has a lot going on in her life. She's got some medical issues. So if we can get 3s up in prayers for her medical issues, that she received some relief. You know, God is the great healer. He's the great physician of the universe. And, you know, if he has it in his plan to have to heal her and have her be better, we can pray that that's in his plan. And then if it's not, we just pray that she's as comfortable as possible with whatever's happening with her. I don't have all the details on that, but I just know that it's serious and not life-threatening, I don't believe, but it's just serious. So if we can get hearts for her, and also she wants to do a channel someday, you know, and there's a lot of drama with the show, and not so much like a ton of drama, you know what I mean? But there's stuff that lingers outside of our community that tries to, like, you know, reach in, and you know, and I don't disagree with her. You know, she doesn't want to be, you know, associated with that kind of drama. Or, you know, what if it turns out that I'm just a full-blown Nazi racist, you know? And she just doesn't want to risk. She wants to give her channel the best chance possible if she starts one. And I totally agree with her. I would do the same exact thing. I mean, I did, right? I did it with Tommy. I was like, no, I'm not saying that I'm like Tommy, but I'm just saying, really, before I had proof of anything, I put that one video up. Remember, it was like the cartoon of me. I was like, this is why I have the right to investigate my co-host, why I shouldn't have blind loyalty and just take him on his word. And it was all about my future as a provider, as a family man, as a content creator, as everything, as a guy who used to be in a prison gang and a drug trafficker. How I have to be real protective of who I've become, of all the clout and merit that I've earned myself from all the hard work that I've done with the strength of God, not only in me, but behind me, and who lifts me out. Anyways, so I totally agree with her, and that's what she needed to do. So anyways, let's, hey, good morning, Marilyn. Marilyn's on the road, so hopefully she's listening. Good morning, Anna. How are you doing today? Welcome to the show. James Collins Cares. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for all that you do. And I realized this morning when I was going over the permissions that you weren't a managing moderator. I thought you were my managing moderator. So that's crazy. So yeah, you're now the managing moderator. I thought you were this whole time. So that was bizarre. I forgot. My co-host, he had made Reese a managing moderator. Isn't that weird where we're at today from that? It's so crazy. Life's a beach, then you drown. Good morning, Sherry, again. Good morning, my own eyes and ears. How are you doing today? Good to see you. You are soul. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here and participating. As you always do. Stay Spiria. How are you doing today? Good to see you. ASAP Lizzie, good to see you. So good to see you. Surviving Together. Good morning to you, Mac. How are you doing today? I've already been texting with Mac this morning. Karma Chameleon, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Stop the hate talk and find some peace. My best to all. No one's hate talking. I have so many questions. I have unsubbed from everyone. All I see is backbiting, infighting, and just hate being thrown everywhere. Like I told Marin last night, please take care. Please take care. Please stop the hate talk and find some peace. My best of all. I am Mr. Peace, baby. I am Mr. Peace. yeah. And we're going to be talking a lot about that today. We're going to focus on education over indoctrination, discourage identity politics, hold media people accountable. And if that's hate speech, then that's hate speech, Karma. I get what you're saying, but holding each other accountable is not hate speech to me. We need to support fair policies, not performative ones. Lead by example, and that's what I'm doing here today. And then those are the topics I want to talk about, and then I have some solutions to each one of those. And then how we move forward. Like we need to be honest. We need to have honest conversations like this. Honest conversations, not screaming matches, not gotcha moments, just real talk with room for grace, disagreement, and understanding. 2, we need to education with integrity. Let's teach history accurately, but not use it as a guilt trip or a political weapon like it's being used. Let's learn from the past, not live trapped in it. And we need to see people as individuals. And that's really my main focus is we need to see people as individuals where they are now today. That doesn't mean you get a free pass for being a hateful person in the past, or people want to say Nazis, but I agree there are no more Nazis anymore. There haven't been any Nazis. There's some skinhead groups that claim they're Nazis, but they're not Nazis. We want to use that term freely, like oh yeah, but people say oh yeah, he's like on Seinfeld, oh he's the soup Nazi. They want to use it as a behavior and not of what it really is. So we just want to not put not just skin color. We need to see people as individuals, not just skin color or political labels. And that's what I wrote that song about. I wrote that song really late last night. And if you noticed, I used Suno to create it. But if you notice, the guitar riff on it is from Sweet City Woman by the Chandeliers or the Shakespeare. I can't remember who they are. I can't remember, but it's Sweet City Woman is the guitar riff on it, and then with my lyrics. And we need to just see people as individuals, not just skin color or political labels, human beings with hearts. I keep forgetting my mouse is dead. I need to go throw it on the floor. With hearts, with stories, and with dignity. And we need to hold media leaders accountable, stop rewarding those who profit off division, start uplifting those who speak peace with power. And that's what I'm trying to do today, is I want to speak peace with power. Now, is it going to be a little like backbiting? Who knows? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I'm human. My feelings, can change from moment to moment as I talk about this, and I might digress into some story, or I might just show some text messages. I don't know yet. I just know I have the layout for my show today, and these are the things I want to talk about, and we'll just go from here. Right? So good morning, Karma. If you ever get a chance, you can resub if you want to. But I get it. We're all our own person, and we get to make our own choices. And I respect your choice. Good morning, Grateful. How are you doing today? Good morning, Surviving Together. I already said good morning to you. Good morning, James. I already said good morning to you. Caddy Connie and Loudmouth Linda. Speaking of Caddy Connie and Loudmouth Linda, I wore this all week up in the mountains. Thank you so much. They sent me this awesome black on black hat when I did their show, and they were going to send me a hat as a gift for being on their show. I said, ooh, do you have the black on black one? And they had where is it? There's the gold and red one back there, and then another black one that was like red, white, and blue and black. they sent me the one I wanted. It's kind of like black on black. Really, it's black on gray or gray on black. But I love it. This is the Elon Musk version. That's what I'm going to call it. I know you guys are all like going, everyone but Connie and Linda. Shell Dubbed. I can't remember if I said good morning to you, but good morning. Heat My Shorts. Good morning to you. Stay Spiria. Good morning to you. Mischief Managed. I say good morning. Good morning, Mischief. Thank you so much for being a moderator and helping out with the show when you can. I really appreciate it. John Lazon. Good morning to you. How are you doing today? Janet from Another Planet. I love that. Why have I never read that? I don't think I've ever read that name. Maybe she's coming out of lurk mode. Or maybe she's new to the show. Whichever it is, welcome to the chat. Janet from Another Planet. Hey, Deb, how are you doing today? It's so good to see you, Deb, doing it Deb's way. Go check out her channel. I've subscribed. You should check it out and see if you want to be a subscriber. Mods, if any of you have that link, go ahead and put it up. If not, I'll make sure it's up before the end of the show. And to all the channels, actually, you know, I'm just going to make of all the channels of our community members that have channels that they want to promote. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'll have that ready for tomorrow. I'm going to make just a copy and paste list that I can have, and I'll send it. I'll email it to the mods. That way they can just go right to that link and just copy and paste it and send it, put it up. Kim, good morning to Kim. I see you, Kim. I see you. I've already been texting with her this morning too. Who else is here? Nature is soul healing. It sure is, man. It sure is. I just have never been a fan of the mountains. I am now. We're already planning our next trip, and we're going to go a little farther and a little deeper. You could get, I mean, there's places in Montana that have never been seen or touched by man, at least not modern man, that we know of. You know, there's no trails. There's no, it's not been plotted by the government. Like it's, you know, it's not BLM land, even though they probably just claim everything, but it's not like accessible BLM land by any way, shape, or form, not by hiking, not by anything. So you can get lost in Montana. And I've just never been a super big fan of that. I'm a city guy, right? I'm not a mountain guy. Sometimes the mountains do feel like kind of like they're like closing in on me, and I'm not like I could be in a box for hours and not trip. I'm not like whatever that disorder is. Claustrophobic. I'm not claustrophobic, but I just don't like it. I like seeing the ocean and far away things. So anyway, good morning to all of you. I mean, we got 2 hours, so I'm going to take my time doing the roll call. Or I'm just going to call it good mornings. I'm not going to call it a roll call. Looking. Question, Sam, did you try peeing on the campfire to get it going? I did not. Oh, here we go. Paula Pendley. Don't smooth over the fact you guys are banding together to attack her or keep acting like the turd hoarder and butt juice. Yeah. I don't think anyone has. I mean, that's funny. That's funny to me. Here is a prime example of a Reese cult member, right? And I'm not banding together with anyone. I've had no emails. I've had no phone calls with anyone. I haven't talked to anyone. I caught a little bit of Maryland's show while I was driving. I caught a little bit of Susie's show last night when I was working on some other things. Paula, you can call it whatever you want. You are indoctrinated by her. I'm just telling you, and I'm saying it politely. You are indoctrinated by her. I showed you how she lies, directly lies to try to take people down. She tried to take me down with lies. Bold lies. I could send you a 500 gigabyte zip file of proof. I mean, it's ready to be sent. So, but you wouldn't listen to it. And look, I think she can be funny sometimes. Like when she has the bad comment Monday and she does the like, Reese sucks ass. She's the worst mother, stupid, C word. Okay, guys, have a great day. I think that's funny. I think it is. I don't agree with those kinds of that kind of support. I don't. But I'm not going to check people's free speech. I don't react like that. That's not who I am. So I'm not smoothing anything over, Paula. I'm really not. So see you later, alligator. Who else? Tan Louise, good morning to you. How are you doing today? Good to see you. ASAP, I say good morning to you. Anna Bergquist. I'm taking it that's like Switzerland or Swedish or something like that. You remember that author that died? He wrote the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I'm just talking about this real quick. Is that when I read those books, they have like lots of street names and they all like are spelled like with the spelling of your last name, with that type dialect or whatever. I don't even know if I'm describing that right. That's the only part I hated about reading that book, was because I wanted to say all those things, all the names of the players, of the streets, of the towns, of the cities. And they were just so hard. They were just so hard to pronounce. So I hope I didn't destroy your last name. Wait, what did Paula call? What was that again? Acting like the turd hoarder and butt juice. Who's butt juice? Oh, goot juice. That's a grown woman saying those things. Just like Reese, when she says the things, that's a grown woman. TKK, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. Oh, they're back from their sidebar. I hope I don't get distracted. I should probably pause the trial. Okay, guys. I'm down to the threes and all the things. Yeah, that's just it, Tan Louise. You can't change your past, but you can change your future. And like, look, it is what it is. She is race baiting to use it to divide us, to defend herself from her attacks. Like, look, do I think it's right that Knife Hoarder? I do think Knife Hoarder has the right to say whatever he wants to say and to inform people. I absolutely think he has that right. Do I agree with some of the word choices? Absolutely not. I vehemently disagree. But he's his own man. Like, you know what I mean? He is his own man, and I have to respect that. Do I think he should be canceled for his free speech? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel like there's probably things that people could say that they could have canceled me for, and anything that I might have said online. I don't know. That whole culture is beyond me. I don't understand it. I just know it exists. It's like wind, right? I know it's there. I don't know what it. I couldn't explain it to you. Well, I can now that I'm an adult, but you know what I mean. You know it's there, but you don't see it. That's the point I was getting at. Yeah, I don't agree with that. So just because she's attacking us as a whole doesn't mean we are a whole. like her saying Knife Hoarder and I have been friends forever, even before I knew had reconnected with Tommy and Reese. Nope, not even a little bit. The first time Knife Hoarder and I ever communicated whatsoever was 2 days after the release of the Thunder video. And Reese called me freaking out. And I got mad. I got mad. Like, what are you freaking out on? She's like, oh, my mods are worried that you got all my subscribers for helping me, but that you're really friends with Knife Hoarder. No, we're not friends. I wouldn't even call us friends now, for real. But if we talked more, we could be friends. Absolutely. My definition of friends is probably a lot different than a lot of other people's definition of friends. And I think Tom and my definition of friends probably are pretty close, align the same. So, but I bet you stuff like this will bring us closer to being friends. Absolutely. And Goot, I don't think I've ever talked to you, except for if he's commented in a chat and I've said something online. So, but I know friends of mine who really respect them as creators and as friends, and I respect those people. So, anyways, moving forward, Cooler by the Lake. Hey, how's it going? Nana of 2, how are you doing today? And here's another thing. You know, maybe if Knife Hoarder and I were friends, or Goo Juice and I were friends, maybe there's something about how I feel about things that might maybe rub off on them. I'm not saying it needs to, but you never know. That could be God's plan. Do you know what I mean? It's just like with someone else here that I know who is a Christian, who is closer to Tom than I am. Maybe that's that person's role. I don't even want to say male or female. That might be that person's role in his life. You just don't know, right? You just don't. Hey, Wolfie, good morning. Sharona, hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. And I think that's a mistake. Hey, Thompson, how's it going? I keep getting sidetracked for the no soup for your 1 year. Keep getting sidetracked. James Collins Carey says ephemeral Remy talks about how there should be accountability because of comments made are getting worse. He gets a lot of comments like "you should die" or "wishing him harm." Disgusting. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. And when those around us make those kind of comments, I don't agree with that. But how does anyone not know that I haven't made personal comments to anyone who makes comments like that around? I'm not saying anything like that has happened, but if it has, how does anyone know that I haven't sent that person an email or wrote that person a text because their number was forwarded me by someone? I'm just saying. Brother B, what's up? Remember those commercials? I'm sure you do. Okay, I think I'm gonna get on with the show. Shauna B, hey, how you going? Shauna B's new member. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. Whoops, wrong one. There you go. Oh, I'm sorry, TV guys. I was supposed to warn you. The people watching on their TV, that's super loud, and I need to turn it down or figure that out. I apologize. Grateful has a question. How long have you been in Montana? I moved to Colorado in 1989 from Chicago and never looked back. Since 2017 or 18, I've been here. Yep. On judge's orders. I was on probation. And because my drug trafficking case was out of Montana that I was on probation for, they made me come live here because I kept violating my probation. I've talked about this before. I kept violating my probation. She was like, look, it cost me, I can't remember the number. It was like $18,000 or something like that to get me from LA to Montana just so I could see her in person for my violation hearing. They couldn't do it over the court. And this is pre-COVID. And she's like, yeah, you're not going back this time. You know, you're going to go do these 6 months. And when you come out, you're going to live in Montana. And I fought him on it. But since being in Montana, I got saved, right? I got married. I have an entire new life, and I've been clean and sober. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. That's how God works, right? So we will be doing questions and answers at the end of the show. Tony Peppermill, how's it going? And I just seen, where has Gay Lynn been? I feel like I haven't seen Gay Lynn in a while. All right, guys, I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'll let you guys know a little bit ahead of time when I'm going to take questions and answers. And we can just talk a little bit about what we're talking about today. But like I said, I wanted to start it with the first thing I want to talk about is just having nuanced conversations where we can create a space to where we can talk about this. Because where we can talk about race and race baiting and it being a weapon without the fear of being labeled or silenced. Because when we start calling other people Nazis and racists, that's just to try to shut them up without having a discussion, right? People feel like they can just say racist. And then that makes everyone look away from them. And now they're like, oh, is he? Oh, what? Oh, his email address has some numbers in it that are racist numbers. And they are. My email for a long time was art driven 1488. I had that email forever because we attach ourselves to these numbers. I was talking about 1488 before I ever even knew what it was. Way before I ever knew what it was. And the 88 does not stand for Heil Hitler. Now, it does have, it is a racist number. I'm not denying that. But that's people trying to make sense of it who didn't know, saying it's HH for Heil Hitler. But that's not the original meaning. So yeah, you know what? Let me talk about that first before we get into the solutions of this issue and why it is weaponizing and why it's a distraction tactic and why it's super inappropriate. I'm going to talk a little bit about my time in prison. So when I got to prison, it was for drug trafficking. Where's my vape? I need some nicotine before I get into this. This can be a little triggering. So if people don't want to hear about prison and violence and death and murder, this might not be the segment for you. I promise to be done with this part of it by 10:30. So if you want to come back and check in, and just I'll let you know. If you see this up here, I'll give you a nice little identifier. If you see this up, not that. If you see this up, that means I'm done telling my story. Okay. All right. Let's move forward. Rooney, I want my dinner out front of that school in 10 minutes. Okay. Let's start with this. I'm going to show you guys a couple pictures. This was me before prison. Kind of looks like me now, but I'm just like way older. That's me before prison. And I have lots of other pictures of me right before prison. That was me pretty before prison. Now I'm going to show you a picture of me after prison. Let me find it. It's going to take a second. No, I know right where it's at. I keep forgetting my mouse is dead. And get rid of my mouse. And I've kind of showed this picture before. If I don't find it quickly, I'm just going to show it on my phone. Dum, dum. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'll just show it on my phone. Well, here's one of me, like the day I got out. But I want to show you my tattoos. Oh, screw it. I'll just show you on my phone. Sweet, sweet woman. Dude, whenever I go to my phone and it's been set down for a while, it's a million notifications. Like they are just coming like crazy. I need to find where I don't have them blurred out. I have them blurred out when I'm going to show them. Well, just see the blurred out. This was me when I can't see my. That's me when I went out of prison. On my left side of my chest there's a big swastika. It takes up my whole chest. You can kind of see it in there. And then on the other side, there's some lightning bolts. And then on my stomach, there's 2 hammers. Here, I'll show them to you. I'm kind of fat right now, but I'll show them to you. There's 2 hammers. See them? And there's HFFH. And stands for Hammerskin Forever, Forever Hammerskin. And I'm going to start off by this. The guys who told me that I was a part of that group weren't a part of that group anymore. They've been kicked out because they were using drugs. To be a part of that gang or group or organization, whatever they want to call it, you don't do drugs. You really not supposed to drink. They're really straight edge. And I'm not saying that as a good thing or as like I'm trying to say that they are cool for doing that. So the guys that told me that I was a part of that gang weren't allowed to tell me that. Later on down the road, and they were just saying, yeah, we get high, or it's not really about, it isn't about, killing other races or not liking other races, but in here it's us against them. Come be a part of it. Little did I know is that specific group isn't. Now there are prison skinhead gangs. That one is not one of them. And so when I met some guys that were active and that were in prison skidhead gangs, they're like, no, that's possible. Those guys are not, you're going to have to like rejoin with us. But I didn't necessarily believe them. I'm like, what? No, this was real. You know, we were in another prison, but it was a lower security. It was a minimum security. And it was right when I got there, and I was in a holdover, kind of like Diddy is right now. And you know, they see me come in, my paperwork was good, and I was working out with them, you know, because it's all in race. It's black and white and brown, and then the whites run with one group of the browns, and the other group of the browns run with the blacks. And it's like a north and a south. It literally is just like that, especially on the West Coast. It's north and south. And I'm half Mexican. You guys seen a picture of my grandmother the other day? She's like a little old Mexican lady. That's my mom's mom. And only one person knew about that was a part of that group, who supposedly was a part of that group. He's like, oh no, it's cool, man. He's like, as long as you have white skin. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. A lot of people always ask me, well, why didn't you like, you know, join up in the Mexican gangs? And because I didn't want to be Miklo from Blood In, Blood Out. If you guys haven't seen that movie, it's about this kid who grows up in a brown neighborhood, kind of like I did, but he was white, kind of like I was, and because he had a white dad who tried to beat the Mexican out of him every day, which wasn't my experience. My dad loved my mom. My dad was not racist a little bit, never. My dad lives in Flint, Michigan, where I think on our street in Flint, Michigan, there was one other white family on our street. And my dad's just, if my dad was racist, he never would have lived there, not in a million years. But my dad was never like that. And, but anyways, I wasn't going to join a Mexican gang. And because I would be the white Mexican guy, you know. So I connected up with these guys. I thought it was legit. They weren't, you know, they were just like, look, we just protect each other. You know, we do things as a group. And when you get to the other prisons, you know what I mean? There'll be a shot caller, and you'll fall in with them, whatever their rules are. And, you know, you have to be, you know, booted and suited every morning and be out to yard. And that's exactly how it went down. So then one time, and I've told this story on many, many podcasts. One time I wanted to check the score of a football game, of the USC game. I played a gambling ticket, and I had the over and under, and I needed to know where the score was of the game. So the sports TV room was technically the black TV room, because there was a white TV room and a black TV room, right? The sports TV room was the black TV room. And I went in there to check the score of the game, and I asked, it was a commercial of one game, and I go, hey, can we flip it to the USC game to check the score? Everyone just looks at me like I'm dumb. I'm like, hey man, can I check the score of the game? And this little black kid, he's like, yo, Casp, yeah, I'll change it for you. And he goes to change it, and the head of the Nation of Islam guys there, which is another gang, don't let them fool you. They are a gang. It's like the Nation of Islam is like Malcolm X. That's his group. None of them have a last name. It's always X. This guy named John X said, no, F that white boy. We ain't changing shit. So technically, this is the sports TV room. All races are allowed in this room, or else I wouldn't be in there asking for the TV to be changed. I was like, yo, John, it's commercial. Can I check this? And I used to play chess with this guy, right? He's like, nah, man. He's like, we ain't changing it. I'm like, all right, bro. All right. Well, then F you, punk, right? And I stood on a chair. I was like, that's right, bitch, fight me. Well, we weren't allowed to fight. There's a no hands policy in high security prisons. And the reason why there's a no hands policy is because of situations like this, where two guys just can't get heated get in a fight in the TV room, and next thing you know, the whole prison goes up in a race war or in a riot. It doesn't even have to be about race, just about two idiots, right? But I was heated, and I tried to basically cause a riot. And I was like, "That's right, you're a bitch, you're a punk, you're a bitch," and went about my day. Of course, everyone politicked on it. We couldn't get anywhere about it, and so we didn't know what was going to happen. So when you take a shower at this prison, you have to have security with you. So that would be like me saying, "Hey, James, I'm going to jump in the shower. Will you get security for me?" And basically what James will do, he'll stand out in front of the shower to make sure no one attacks me in the shower. So I knew it was heated. So I had 2 security guys with me this day, and they were distracted while I was in the shower. And they had paid this Rastafarian dude, which is another gang in prison, but they're not a gang on the streets. This Rastafarian dude tried to come in, who was a good friend of John X's, and he tried to stab me. But I heard them come through the shower because there's a shower in between us. And I had my knife on my water bottle, on my shampoo bottle, rather, my Head and Shoulders bottle. It was all they sell there. And I was able to get him before he got me. And so when it was over with, I went out on the tier. I said, "Get this fucking dead," he didn't die, but I was like, "Get this dead motherfucker out of my shower." I went to my cell, dried off. Of course, there was blood everywhere, and they dragged that fool out, and the cops came and they locked me up, and I got locked up, and that's basically how it had happened. Now, when I did that, I earned my swastika. And I didn't even know that I earned it when it happened. Like, it was like everyone was excited about it. Like, "Oh man, you got your swastika, bro. You got your swastika." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "What? No way." And they're like, yeah. And I'm not going to lie. It was an exciting time. Like, I'm still using drugs. I feel I'm in prison. I felt like it was going to be the next 25 years. I was scared. I was freaked out, and I had this group of guys that were excited for me, and I fell in line. I was like, "Heck yeah." And that's how that swastika ended up there. Now you guys are probably like, "Why don't you remove it?" Well, it wouldn't just be removing that swastika, it'd be removing a lot of other tattoos. And if I just remove just the swastika, there's going to be a blank space. A blank swastika, and yeah, I could fill it with flowers, or then there'll be a flower swastika in there, or I could do, or I can just like blacken it out. And that's what I am going to do. I'm going to blacken it out, but I want to see if I can figure out something first before I do that. Cause I just don't want to have just a black chest, and it's expensive, and I'm a tattoo artist, but I can't work on myself. Right. So, I mean, you can work on your legs, but there's no way I could tattoo, upside down or whatever. And anyways, that's my business. That's all taken care of. But what I'm doing is I'm just leading by example of what it's like to not be that person anymore, to not be that drug addict, to not be a guy who feels like he needs acceptance from these guys in prison that never want to get out. Those are the things that I'm working on. People pleasing, of being codependent, of over promising and under delivering. It's not just because I wanted to be accepted by these white dudes. I only had one choice to be accepted by anybody, and that was the white dudes. I couldn't be Tommy and hang out with some imaginary black dude named Q. There was none of that. That did not happen. And if it did happen, Tommy wouldn't be here alive today. So that's the story behind that. That's what happened for me to get that. I know it's ugly. I know I do EMDR because it was traumatic for me, because that's not how I grew up. I wasn't used to violence. I talk about how I never been in a fight before until I went to prison, except for, wrestling with my cousins when I was like 8 and 9. I just wasn't me in high school. I didn't fight. I mean, I fought over a wave, but it was more of a wrestling thing, though, at the beach. But that was just amongst friends. It was never a hateful thing. That was something that was like a crash course when I got there, and it was hectic. It was crazy, but people were dying around me. The first prison I was at, there was 12 murders in the prison I was at from January to October. I know, because I wrote home about it. Because I kept lying to my brothers. I was like, no, everything's cool, man. I'm good. And finally, after the 12th murder, I could not tell them. Because if I was ever murdered, I didn't want them like, man, he said it was cool. But I didn't want to tell them about all the murders because I didn't want my family to be afraid. But eventually I had to, because if something happened and then they found out, I was like, wait, what? They were killing people left and right in there? Why didn't he tell us? I didn't want them to think that I didn't trust them, or that I didn't feel like I'd go to them for support, for moral support, or that I didn't love them enough to be honest. They were already disappointed. I was a systems engineer 18 months before that, working at Microsoft and AT&T and doing these big projects. Now I was getting swastikas and living in a federal prison for who knows how long. So that's that. Does that make me who I am today? Not even a little bit. Did I make some poor choices when I started drug trafficking? Yeah. Could I've hung out with some different white boys? Yeah. But then you know what I'd be? I'd be an Aryan Circle, or a dirty white boy, or an Aryan or the Aryan Brotherhood. It would be a different name, the same swastika, but I would have been something different. And I could have rattled off 10 more gangs. There was someone in there for me, but you fall in who's your cellie when you first get there. Whoever your cellie is pretty much who you're going to be. And that's who my cellie was, who's no longer with us. They killed him in a prison called Big Sandy. They killed him because he wasn't allowed to recruit me. He wasn't allowed to recruit anyone in prison. It's not they aren't a prison gang. Any skinhead will tell you, like, oh no, they're not a prison skinhead gang. They'll tell you that proudly. We're a prison gang. They're just street Nazis. They're not tough. They're not cool. They're not. And neither are they. And neither are them. So anyways, that's that. And if Knife Hoarder can relate to that at all, maybe he can. Maybe that's similar to his story. I don't know. But it wasn't for protection. It was what was happening. It was. Was I safer because of it? Yeah. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm scared. I gotta go. Who you? I'm gonna join you. It was none of that. Oh, I kind of sounded like Knife Hoarder there for a second. When he's mocking people. So I don't know. Let us all be perfectly imperfect. Yeah. Yeah. But here's the deal. Because someone wants to say, oh, you have that, you must be that. You can't, because people are perfectly imperfect. And nobody knows why he got those tattoos or I got these tattoos. And you can't say that I'm a Nazi or that I hate black people or brown people or Jewish people. You can't say that. First of all, I love a brown woman. I love 2 brown women. Well, actually, I love 5 brown women because my daughters are brown except for Hazley. My mom is dark brown. Everyone thought my mom was black when I was in high school. So, and my grandmother said when she seen my swastika, this is just because she's old and wise, right? I was her favorite grandson, no matter what I did, right? I was her favorite grandson. But I would have to say that was probably the second most time that she was disappointed in me. She wasn't disappointed when I became a drug addict and a drug dealer. She wasn't disappointed. She was scared for me. And she, in her own way, she might be disappointed, but she didn't verbalize disappointment. And that's how I know my grandma is ever disappointed. She's disappointed with me twice in my life. She was disappointed with me when I did cocaine at my brother's funeral. She was really disappointed in me then. And she was disappointed that I had a swastika on me. And this is what she said, though. She didn't say, because I was her favorite nieto, that's Spanish for grandson. And she was like, mijo, she's like, you don't know Hitler, I was like, I know, grandma, it was just a prison thing, right? She's like, mijo, you don't know Hitler. She's like, I knew Hitler, right? Meaning she was alive when Hitler was around. She was probably 23 or 24 when Hitler was doing his thing, right? She's like, you don't know Hitler. And I was like, no, I know, grandma, it wasn't like that, Try to explain to her. She's like, I understand, but I could tell, I could see in her eyes that she was really disappointed because all she knows is that culture is what she sees on the news, the streets of white guys at the Capitol, doing Heil Hitler, and she thought that I had been brainwashed, so she was worried for me. And I had to tell her, like, no, it was just some guys I was doing push-ups with. And the only reason why I got that was because they tried to kill me in a shower. So that's how it happens. And and everyone's probably got a different story. Doesn't make it right, but it doesn't make it wrong either. It just doesn't. It's just what happened. So yeah. So I have an issue with race baiting. You know what's crazy? Before this video, before what's her name's video, I've been doing things on about where we're at in society. Like just last week, I did a video on the PSYOP race war that's trying to be instigated in our country right now. There's these two sides, being political or social, these social constructors, these people who want to control society, whoever they are, George Soros or whoever. They're making these people for doing bad things rich, like Shiloh Hendricks, who called that little boy the N-word up in Canada, or Carmello Anthony, who stabbed that white kid down in Texas. They're making these people rich. There's people like donating money to these people so they can be safe from the bad thing that they did 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They would have been canceled and they would have lost their job. Like that white girl up north would have lost her job. She'd have been canceled. She'd have been done for. Now she's a millionaire because she called that kid the N-word. I'm not exaggerating. I just did a video on my long form videos on this channel the other day. There'll be a link in the description. See, I'm getting this. I'm getting this, right? This YouTube thing. Down below, there'll be a link in the description. I always tripped on how do they know to point when that's going to come up? How do they do that? But now I know that they put it in afterwards. Anyways, I digress. Often. But yeah, I mean, it's all heavy stuff. But anyways, so I come up with these things. I want to, first of all, promote having these nuanced conversations, right? And to be able to have a safe place to do it. And I want after the bars, I almost said the bars, after the bars, to be that place for when these things come up, we can discuss them not say that person is this or that person is that because they have that or they did that or they do that. I want us to be able to talk about that. And I need this channel to be that safe space. If you can't be a part of that safe space, beat it. Beat it. Get the fuck out. How about that? How about that? If you can't make that place or help be that person to help make it, get the fuck out. I don't care. But I'm not going to, but you can go watch other channels that aren't my friends. You know, if there's people in here that watch Reese, go for it. I watch Reese occasionally. When people send me links, and occasionally I'll see a thumbnail and be like, oh, wait, is she going to talk about me? Is that something is she going to talk about me? Because I'm curious, right? But monitoring what other people watch and then you can't be a part of that, that's not cool. But if you're in this chat and you cause discourse, you're going to be gone. If you're going to argue with other members of this chat, you're going to be gone. That's going to be one of the ways that you get booted out. If you try to like be disrespectful and argue. No, we can argue, but respectfully. I want to focus on if people have questions on education and not indoctrination. I'm not going to indoctrinate you in my way of thinking, but I want to get educated and help educate people that might not know about what it's like to be in prison, or what those tattoos mean for some people. Like, look, if I was truly a Nazi and if that's how I felt, I would have a channel on Rumble or one of those other channels, and that's what I would talk about. I wouldn't be like pretending to be this way. So what? So I could be a different way outside of here? Well, I wouldn't be married to the person I'm married to, and I wouldn't have a 6-year-old girl that would love me because she has to go to school. And she doesn't go to a lily white school. She goes to a school that is really considered poverty. And there's lots of Native Americans there and other races there. You think she's going to be able to go to that school and say, yeah, my daddy uses the N-word? Or my daddy doesn't like people like you. If that's who I was, that's what would be happening. And she wouldn't be living here. Or really, I wouldn't be living here because my wife wouldn't put up with it. People that are skinheads or Nazis that, you know, call themselves that, and they're not really they're not really Nazis, but that call themselves that, they're proud to be that. And one thing I'm not proud of is that I even remotely was affiliated with any of that when I was in prison. Wasn't my brightest moment. It wasn't. But that's what it was. And I'm alive today because of it. So I will give it that. I am alive today because of that. I would be dead. It's not an exaggeration. It's not. Because I was at some places where some things went down, and if I wouldn't have been that guy, they would have killed me. They would have killed me because they were killing people. So anyways, and if you guys think I'm exaggerating about that, just say so, and I will get all the stats you guys need from the Bureau of Prisons website. And they don't like telling those stats, but they have to, because they have to be as transparent as they can be. I'm sure they'll probably leave out a cop murder here and there, but they have to be as transparent as they can be. They can't lie about it because there's too many people in there seeing it. They can't have, I think it was 115,000 guys in there saying people are getting killed in here and not be transparent about it. Right? So, hey, Galen, it's good to see you. Where am I at? And so, like, I want to discourage the identity politics, shifting the focus from group identity to an individual character. I want to shift the focus from if by calling me a Nazi, we're all Nazis in here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it. Like, I don't want it to be a group identity politics. I want it to be like individual. Like we're each here on our own individual character and merit, but we can have shared values, right? But we're each our own person. But I think we all are. These the people that are washing out in the wash. We all share the same values, and those values aren't the same as Reese's values, as her specifically. I don't know if it's her followers' values, but I know it doesn't align with Paula Penley's values, because she wants to point the finger and say that this is who I am and what we are. And do you know what I mean? And I don't know if that's what she said. I don't even remember what she said, but I know she was wrong. And I want to encourage a unity-based community based on common humanity rather than a constant emphasis on division. So basically, I don't want to keep well, I mean, I haven't been keep saying anything, but I don't want to have to respond to divisive comments but I will every time. I will, but I'll do it respectfully. I'm not going to do it like how she would do it, or how Tommy would do it, or anyone else that has an issue. There's 2 other people. I just can't remember the names of their channels, but they're commenting on me and other things. I don't even know who they are, so it doesn't matter to me. But I also want to be able to hold these media people, and that's being polite to Reese, saying that she's a media person. She's lately been calling herself that she's an influencer, and she does influence the people that buy her bullshit, for sure. She does influence them. Hold media leaders accountable and call out those who profit from stoking racial tension. And that's what I'm here to talk about today, is the race baiting tension. And I don't think there's anyone in this community that's like that. There's no one to call out here, from knife hoarder down. Marilyn's not a racist. Susie's not a racist. There are no, from what I've seen, there is no racism in this community right now, or in their communities, or in the people that we share as community members. I don't know what that number is. If it's 50, I would be surprised. Yeah, I think it's less than that. So us like banding together and having secret meetings on how to take down Reese just doesn't happen. And if it did, I would tell you, because I don't want to ever be caught in a lie by her. Like, see, you said you weren't, but look, I got a screenshot of you guys in a Zoom call, with Nazi flags and drawn on Hitler mustaches, all going like that. No, I want to be as honest as humanly effing possible, which is complete honesty. And I want to demand transparency from those who are responsible for the promoting platforms that are divisive, or for the people that run those platforms that are divisive. And then the rest of my discussion is more political. And I was going to talk about politics of it too, with Trump and everyone else, and how all that race baiting is happening right now, especially because of the Carmello Anthony thing and the Proud Boys who were started by a black man, who's still run by that black guy, who's a super cool dude. But he can't control what others do in his group. It just by like one of you guys going out and getting in a fight with someone because of their race. How does that reflect on ASAP or Galen or me that you went out there and did that? Anyways, and I want to lead by example. Me as an individual and us as a community can lead by example. And we don't have to race bait situations, and we don't have to weaponize talking points that we know will just shut the conversation down, because that's the way we distract from what we're really doing. No, this is what we're doing. It's all right here, laid out on a platter. There's nothing hidden. I've never hid about my history ever. Before I had this channel, I've been interviewed. People want to hear my life story. I don't reach out to them. They reach out to me. I turn them down all the time. Places where I could get clout. I could have a bigger audience and more views and make more money doing this. This is my retirement. I could easily do that. But what about you guys? What if I had a bunch of guys in the chat or women in the chat talking about rat this and fuck that punk and get that pussy? No way. I made a commitment to you guys to protect this community because of who I've become from my past. It's in my intro. My testimony and my life has shaped me to be who I am, and I think I'm the right person to protect this safe space. And that's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I try to do. And if I F up, you know what? You guys tell me right away. And when you're scared of if I'm going to do something that's going to destroy this, a handful of you will let me know. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. I wish I could find that email. I haven't looked for it, but I wish I had it up and ready to show you. Yeah, it was funny. Someone was like, look, this is what happened. Do not respond. Abort your mission. Not about this. This is like a previous one. I've talked about it before. But yeah, that's so I guess moving forward, I want to have honest conversations. I want education with integrity. I want to focus on individuals. I think when we focus on individuals, it humanizes us when we treat each other as individuals, right? Not just categories. And when we return to seeing the person in front of each other, that cultivates respect over blame and peace over conflict. I read that in a book, actually. I had to go find the book, but I remembered it. I remembered it was in there, in that book. And I think by leading by example, me as an individual and us as a community, I think that sets the tone, and love always spreads like fire, right? When one person chooses peace in the face of conflict, forgiveness, integrity, and grace aren't just moral virtues then, right? They are contagious when we lead by example in that way. And I really think those are the only antidotes to discontent, is by leading by example in that way. And that's why I call bullshit on Paula Penley saying that this is what we're doing. Because it's not. There might be like a little snide comment here and there, but I'm allowed to. Right? And that snide comment doesn't doesn't take away from everything I just said. It's for humor. I'm creating content that's supposed to be entertaining, you know? So that's what you're going to get here. So moving forward, so I got these little, I never did share this. Oh, because well, I guess I to let people know that I'm done talking about murder. So I chat GPT'd, I said, is race baiting racism? Because I really wanted to know. And it said, yes, weaponizing racism implies using accusations of racism to manipulate or discredit others for personal gain. Check, check. Race baiting typically refers to inflaming racial tensions, often by making unfounded accusations, which is what this is. They're unfounded accusations. She might want to say they're founded because of an email address or a number, or because in a video he's like, yep, there's the old 1488. He was proud of those tattoos, and he can still be proud of those tattoos because it was in a time in his life, and maybe even still today, that he's like, I don't give a fuck what people think. He's allowed to do that. He's allowed to feel like that. But because I don't agree with a daily assault on him, I don't agree with it, not because to protect Reese from it. I don't agree with it because I'm trying to protect him from it, right? From being negative all the time, because and it's so funny because that's one person I can see who can be super negative, funny, and positive all at the same time. Never seen anyone like it before, right? And I've seen a lot. So, but I still stand on what I say about that. And then the crying wolf about racism specifically. Crying wolf suggests repeatedly or falsely raising alarm about racism, which may undermine genuine claims. And that's when it waters down genuine claims, that's when we have an issue. That's a big, big issue. Because, when we start throwing that around willy-nilly, when it's unfounded, when it's real unfounding or fake unfounded, and I just mean this situation specifically because she feels like she has so much proof because Marilyn wears an FTG shirt. How does Reese know that Marilyn didn't buy that for F that grifter? She doesn't know. And I'm almost positive that's why she bought it. Those dudes don't get any money from those shirts. They don't. So it doesn't support them. And you know what? This is the part that makes it the worst most of all, is that Reese knows that. She knows she's making things up because she's able to twist the narrative. She's able to race bait, weaponize racism, and to cry wolf. That's what makes it the worst out of all of it. So that's pretty much my response to that. Like Rodney King said, no, it wasn't Rodney King. It was what was that other fool's name? The white dude they dragged him out of I say they, I mean the lovely occupants of the time of Compton. They don't occupy, and I say they, like African Americans, black guys, black girls, black ladies, black kids. They don't occupy Compton anymore. It's all Mexican. It's my people. It's Viva la Raza. Ah! That's who occupies Compton now. But anyways, Reginald Denny. No, it was the Rodney King situation, but it was Reginald Denny was the guy that when the riots happened, they pulled him out of his semi truck. He's just going down Compton Boulevard, and they pulled him out of his semi truck, and they beat the brakes off, and they beat the living daylights out of him, is what my dad would say. They really did. Yeah, I was driving the truck. Yeah, I know TKK. She really is. You know, this is for us. You know, um, would she ever? No, there. Like she is indoctrinated in the way she thinks. She is so proud to be a Scientologist, and she thinks that is some like really cool thing that she just, I'm gonna have to use my Scientology to get it back at these people. I had to pull out my secret weapon. It's so funny when she does that. Like, what are you doing? My secret weapon. Uh, yeah, I don't know. She's whacked up. Uh, and I say that from my heart, because it's just time and time again. And then when she gets shown to be wrong, which is time and time again, she knows she has those few wallets in her chat that will keep her alive. And like, I don't want her to lose her channel. I don't want her off the internet. I want her to be a better person. And that's what I pray for. I don't pray that she's off YouTube. And I don't think any of us should pray that. I just pray that she starts to be honest and really cares about being a Christian like someday, you know, and it gets convicted by the Holy Spirit. That's I hope that for her. I don't think it'll happen. But I have friends like that in my life today that I will hang out with that I don't think that will ever happen with. But you know what? I bet you there was 1,000 people in my life that prayed for me that didn't think I could happen. There is no way. It did, if it would have happened, it was like if it had happened, it would have happened in prison. He was at his lowest of lows of lows. If he didn't lean on God in prison, he's never going to find God. No, I found God on a well, God found me. I mean, I can't even say I found God. God found me. He needed me to experience everything I did in prison. And my prison walk wasn't easy. Wasn't easy. Nope, not even a little bit. Like the riots and those things, those were easier than what I went through mentally. And that's why I do the EMDR for trauma. Trauma I didn't even realize was there until I couldn't stay sober when I got out. I was like, why can't I stay sober? I know how to be sober because I was sober for 29 years before I ever used, or used like daily, or became when my addiction really took over my life. And I'm going to be doing a show soon on is addiction a disease or do we have a choice? I think both can be true at the same time, but I don't want to just say that. I will pick a side. I just have to work it out in my heart of hearts first before I say like this is where I stand on that. But I'll let you guys know when that show's going to be. It's going to be with another creator. It's someone I've done shows with before. Our last show was kind of a wash because I accidentally doxed some people. But yeah, it'll be with Susie, and I don't know when that's going to be. This week, I think. I have a busy week trying to make money this week. I have to make some money this week. Like I almost said a disclaimer, like if this shuts off automatically, that means my cable got turned off. For real. It's like that right now. But I do have some tattoos scheduled for the week. Now it's all about prioritizing. Do I buy cartridges for tattooing or do I pay the cable bill? The cable bill keeps the YouTube channel going, but tattoo cartridges keep tattooing going. And that's not the only thing. There's all the other things too, So yeah, it's going to be hard. But so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a bunch of shows on other people's channels this week. So yeah, I will get a hold of Susie. That's where I was getting with that. So I'll get a hold of Susie today or tomorrow, and we'll figure out that show if she still wants to have that show. I don't know for sure, but the people that Reese attacks she's attacking some smart people. I don't I don't know them. I don't know what, everyone's history is, but the thing is everyone knows mine. It's out there to be seen or heard or read. Um, and I almost was gonna do a line. That's all I got. That's all I am. And I am what I am, and that's all that I am. Olives, get with me, muscles. I wish Steve was here for that. He's the one who invented that back in 1987 or something. Yeah, Susie is awesome. Yeah. So, Tom, I hope you were able to catch some of the show. I don't know if you've been here the whole time, but good morning to you, kind sir. You devil. Olives, fucks, give with me muscles. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? Oh, with me muscles. Anyways. Sweet peas, cuz. Sweet peas. I don't know if that's translating on the over StreamYard, but to me, it sounds really funny. I have a million impersonations I can do. I just they have to come up naturally. It can't be like, hey, do John Wayne. Hey, do John Wayne. They just can't be. Hey, do I can do Pee Wee Herman. But no, I want it to come naturally. I just don't want to just sit here and be your guys' carnival trick, your like special human trick. Hey, Cass, you guys still haven't seen my Carlton dance. I promised you guys that video a long time ago. You have to forgive me when I forget about that kind of stuff. You have to. I do Carlton really well. Someone send a super chat. John, thank you so much, man. Thank you, brother. I'm going to send that back. After I do a couple tattoos, I'm going to send that back to you, brother. I have your PayPal. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to consider that a loan, brother. You've done too much. You have a family too. And my family isn't more important than you. And I know you know this. I'm just saying, thank you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I really do. Yeah, I'll send that back to your PayPal. As soon as I can. Grifter Rooney, I want my daughter out in front of that school in 10 minutes. I gotta stop doing Ferris Bueller. I just have to. I just wish everyone could just get along too. I really do. And I don't think all of us feel that way. Sometimes it feels good to have someone not to like I do have someone I don't like. And I was on his podcast. and I want to create a YouTube beef with him. That way I have like something to do, like, like shows like, yeah, man. And then that dude, because it feels good. That adrenaline feels good. Anyone will tell you when you're in a riot situation, like in prison, when you're in a prison riot, when everyone gets locked up, who's going to get locked up and gets back to the hole, the shoe, whatever you want to call it. They call it the shoe in the feds. Everyone's laughing and telling, man, did you see when I did that? And like, nah, no one's seen you, man. There's just so much adrenaline and it feels good. It's a high. So like, I would love to have a YouTube nemesis, and I want to start one with Matthew Cox, but there's no merit to it. It's just me, it's just, and you know what? It's probably all my shit, I just don't know. Maybe I should talk to my therapist about it. I don't know. She's mad at me right now though. She's mad at me. My therapist is. Yeah. She's so mad at me. She took away my weekly appointment, and now I have to call on Monday and find out what day I'm gonna be on. She took my weekly away, but it was after missed appointments because I used to see her at 9:00 in the morning every Wednesday, but then we had to switch it because of the show, and then we switched it to 11:30 on Wednesdays. And then I would get done with the show and I'd be in my head about the show or, excited about the show. And what I'm supposed to do is leave right after the show and go to therapy when I forget. So I missed too many in one quarter. And so she put me on probation. So now I have to call every week until I earn my weekly appointment back. But I've been seeing this woman for almost 5 years. So for her to do that, it had to have been serious because we're therapists, but there's boundaries, there. We're not like friends, but we're friendly. Like I know a little bit about her life, but she's real strict on that, not knowing. She's got strict boundaries. But because her husband looks like Dave Grohl, and I'm a huge Dave Grohl fan, she had to tell me that. Man, if you guys haven't been watching the Karen retrial, you are missing out. You guys are missing out. I mean, I'm not watching it right now, but just like ever since this witness that's on right now has been on there, it's just been good. It's such proof. And I know I say this about every witness. It's just more proof. And if I get any tattoo cancellations this week, which I pray I don't, you're going to see me on here plugging away at this Karen retrial. And so I kind of hope I do, but I kind of hope I don't. But you guys are killing it right now. Thank you so much, Caddy, Connie, and Lama Linda. I really, 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 really appreciate that. Thank you for new baiters. John, you already sent me $5. John, for new baiters. Oh, batteries. For new batteries. Oh, for my thing. Thanks, man. Shauna, thank you for coming a new member. And Woofy gifted 5 new memberships. Thank you so much, Woofy. I really appreciate that. Caddy, Connie, and Loudmouth Linda, thank you so much for your support. Just because, love you decide. Thank you so much. Do you think I should, when I say things like that, do you think I should show them? Because I can prove all of it. Here, I can show you my cable bill. And how, I can't believe it's even still on. We thought we were going to come home. I'm not going to show you the cost of it because I'm not trying to get you to send more money, but you know what I mean? I'm only not showing the amount because I don't want you to send more money. I don't know, is it avoid disruption? Yeah. And then, I could show, I feel like as a creator who's gets tips and donate, you should be, how transparent do we need to be? Cause I can be 1000% transparent, I don't mind. People say oh no, you shouldn't. No, there's nothing no one can do. No one can steal money from my checking account if I show, Thank you so much, Grateful. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's not even entertaining to follow these creators. Each video says more about the creator than the subject they're hating on. It comes very easy to them to be negative. Apparently, it's too difficult to be kind. Love your channel. Thank you so much, Grateful. I really appreciate that. And I love it when people do a poignant comment with their super chat. Because it makes it you know what I mean? It makes it worth it in a way. I don't know. But I agree with what you're saying. I do. My wife, for some weird reason, she has no drama in her life whatsoever. When she works at a salon, when she was doing salon, that there was a little bit of drama, she was gone. It's nope, I'm not participating in that. But she does have a secret, this weird little secret guilty pleasure when it comes to drama, and it's knife order. I don't get it. She's not like that, and I probably shouldn't even have said that on the internet. She's probably gonna get mad at me right now. Yeah, although I don't think she watches them daily, but like when she catches it, I just hear her laughing. She's like, yeah. So yeah, there's no way she could do it daily. It would make her negative. And she feels that she's real susceptible to that kind of to those feelings. You know what I mean? She can watch it when it makes her laugh and feel good. But the minute it started feeling bad, she would be, look, I'm good. Thank you so much, Janet from Another Planet, for the gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. That's super, super duper kind of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Well, guys, I hope that was enough. I did plan on being a little more snarkier, but I kind of talked my way out of it. Do you know what I mean? Because I was talking about, oh yeah, I never showed this. I want to show this one last thing, because I was talking about not being snarky or about being positive, and then I felt like I really couldn't be snarky at the same time. Oh yeah, I did talk about, like, because I didn't want, I want to, because it feels good for that adrenaline. I don't know. It's one of those things. And maybe that's what Reese is getting out of it. Maybe it makes her feel good to be like upset and to tell these lies, like, I don't associate with clowns. I don't associate with Nazis. I'm gonna have to use my bull baiting Scientology, reverse psychology ways. This is bizarre. But maybe that's maybe, you know what, that would explain it for me, because I get those feelings when I'm have like a nemesis, and maybe that's what it is, because since the Thunder video, she's been almost daily doing the content she swears every time she starts the content she doesn't do. I don't think that's an exaggeration, because there's Mean Comment Monday, there's Wise Guy Wednesdays, there's like all these like weird things that she has now, and I get it. She feels she has the right to retaliate, and she does. But she doesn't have the right to lie. And she does, right? And we've proven it. We've proven it over and over again. Okay, so let's just go over these little things. So I made this document, and I call it, Let's Start Here. We need honest conversations, right? Not screaming matches, not gotcha moments, just real talk with room for grace, disagreement, and understanding. We need education with integrity. Let's teach history accurately, but not use it as a guilt trip or a political weapon, or YouTube weapon, whatever. Let's learn from the past, not live trapped in it. Meaning our past, our history, and this goes for everybody, right? Not everyone's been as extreme as been in a white gang in prison, but this can be from anything. In that song that I made, that's talking about we stand strong as not just a community, but like from our old lives, and we hold gratitude in our hands, and we recognize or we practice gratitude. I don't know. I'm gonna play the whole song again here in a second. We need education with integrity, and we need to see people as individuals, not just skin color or political labels, or any kind of labels. And I feel like the Nazi thing is becoming a political label, or racism is becoming political. It always has been. I'm sure if we watched the debate from the 40s, we would see the same things being talked about. Maybe not the 40s, maybe like the 60s and on. And we need to see people as individuals, not just skin color or political labels, human beings with hearts, with stories, and with dignity, right? Come on now. Come on. Forget about it. Forget about it. I want to thank everybody for the super chats and for the super stickers and the gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Milky the Dandelion. Oh, you became a new member. Thank you so much. Plug your ears, guys. Huh? Thank you, Janet from Another Planet. Thank you, Grateful 1111. Thank you, Woofy. Thank you, Caddy Connie, Loudmouth Linda. Thank you, John Lazon, so much for the super generous super chat. Thank you, Shauna B, for becoming a new member, and thank you, John Lazon, for the $5 for batteries. I'm not worthy. I'm really not, but damn, I wanted it to be a different video, but I knew it couldn't be because I just vowed to you guys, right? And in turn, when I was getting this together last night, it softened my heart about the whole thing. It really did. And so I'm glad I had time to show prep yesterday when I came home from camping. I'm glad I had time to show prep because when you do react from the seat of your pants, you just don't know. And that's why I did the video last time and not a live. So let me just play this. Oh, you know what? I'll just do it on the shared screen. Where is that? Let me stop sharing this. I'm going to play this song, and you guys take a look at the lyrics if you haven't taken a look at the lyrics yet. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Jesus, I have no tabs open. Usually I have 50 tabs open. That's so crazy. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't have any tabs on it. Okay. Just 1 second, guys. 1 second. All right. Everyone deserves. Hold on, let me share this. Grateful says everyone deserves to retaliate. I suppose hitting below the belt is gross, though. Yeah. But sometimes it can feel really good, right? The Empress Marty Mar. That's cool. Wow, you still have cable? Lots of people save money by doing Prime Video and Netflix, Peacock and Hulu. No, I didn't mean cable. I meant Wi-Fi. I meant I don't have cable at all. No, not even a little bit. I don't even. Well, I do pay for Netflix for my daughter, but I have this little thing called a black box. Yep, I have this guy, and I don't have to pay for pay-per-views. Probably shouldn't be saying this out loud, but I don't pay for any pay-per-views, any football games, anywhere. It can be a high school football game in Dogpatch, Kentucky. I can get it on this guy. It could be a real football game in in England, and I can get it on this guy. Any movie, any TV show, anything that comes out on Hulu, Netflix, anything, I can get it on this guy right here. I just spilt my Pepsi. And yeah, no, I meant my Wi-Fi, my internet access. Sorry. He's like, what? You have cable? That would be funny to have cable. To actually have cable. I thought you were going to say something like Mariana's guilty pleasure is watching Real Housewives or something. No, she's not guilty about that at all. She'd be the first to tell you. No, it always trips me out when I hear her laugh. I'm like, what are you watching? She'll be like, I'm not going to tell you. I'm like, okay. Crazy lady. Well, I'm sorry if I missed anybody's comments or questions. Save it for tomorrow, and we'll. James says, Sam, we could start a YouTube beef. Yeah, we should, huh? Just me against James, but it'll be super fakey. For fakey, not for realsies. For real, for real? No, for fakey. For fakey. Substance use disorder listeners. I have never smoked crack or meth. She was mad at my comment that I left for Night Porter. I am a nurse helping people with addiction. She lies about everything. Yeah. Yeah, I do remember you being in there. That must have been kind of recent. Yeah. Yeah, I did a response video where I showed our text messages, like, and it was like exactly like I was like, no, he's not gonna hurt you. Just don't worry about it. He doesn't have it in him. He has no heart like that. And a bad heart like that, like not like a good heart. In prison, they would say he doesn't have the heart to do that. And that means like to fight. Like I'm sure he has the heart to fight, but like I just mean like to harm a girl like that if it wasn't in the heat of anger. But actually, no, maybe he does. I don't know, but I never encouraged that. And she said I did, and that it was a gold mine, and that I sent me that. It's a gold mine. Never once. If you guys want, this is what's so funny. Remember, because I gave my word, I was like, I'll never show it to anybody. That was before she released it. And if you remember the day of the, oh, I have one other thing to plug. Not for me, but for someone else. And you remember that day she's like, oh yeah, and Sam's gonna be showing this on his channel tomorrow, and he's gonna react to it, to the original long con video. But after she did it, I was like, I don't need to do it, so I didn't do it. It's out there. And she was mad that I didn't do it too. She was mad, dude. Yeah, she was not happy. Yep. So it was because it would have been like even more me co-signing for it. I get it now, but at first I was like, why is she so mad? But anyways, yeah. So when people's like, oh, you shouldn't have played it, you didn't have permission. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I did. I swear to God, I did. She said it out of her own mouth. I did. I swear. So, yeah, it's all just crazy. It's all just nutty. Okay, guys, I'm going to play this. Enjoy this. And I'm going to be back right after this too. So don't go away unless you want to. Why is everything so... It's because I'm not using my mouse. We're going to show this the right way. There we go. Let me just hide this comment. Enjoy this and really read the words. This talks about us. This was for our community.
Race, no religion, nor political affiliation. We all love each other as one. Today's a gift we all can feel. The wounds are raw, but time will heal. Thankful now ways to stand
And hold the world in grateful hands.
after the past. We're rising strong, facing the world where we belong. Recovery burns a steady flame. Grateful hearts call out your name. A brotherhood that no one sees. Sisterhood
Of inner peace, as the longer holds our eyes. We're reaching up into the skies after the bars.
Chains we wore are now no more. The keys we found unlock the door. Through every star a story blooms right here in these live chat rooms. After the bars we're rising strong. Right here where we
This song is epic, man. Yeah, so I really love that song. I love the bridge. How it just, I don't know, it just talks about us as a community in these live chat rooms. I don't know. I really loved how it turned out after I got the lyrics all figured out. There's just one more thing I want to share with you guys. I'm gonna find it real quick. It's a new channel. I found that I thought it was called The Internet Is Forever, but it is
29.
It's called Grift Watch.
Jennifer Sims. Jennifer is 29. Same thing. Email me. Okay. Final 3. And 3 minutes left on the clock until they're back in court. Look at us.
Sometimes I can't find it. Oh, here it is.
DeAndrea King. I love it. DeAndrea King.
Yeah, so it's called Grift Watch, and it's got a version of the long con. It's like a screen recorded version, and it's all there, even my part in it. But she says at the very end that I was allowed. I forgot that she said it.
We were not in Vegas very long.
But yeah, she said, that I was going to show it on my channel.
So I hit record, and I'm glad I did. And I don't do that to everybody. I don't do it to my friends.
But anyways, she does say it.
I feel unsafe, and my gut is screaming, and red flags are going off in my head. Thank God he was here, because I didn't have an Apple Watch anymore. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm going to record this, put this in my pocket, and see if I can get him to talk. I don't blame Alan, Ben. I'm not blaming Alan. I'm more up first.
Well, you did.
That's all I through. I don't care that I cheated. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not trying to deny that I lied to my audience. I went to do that.
Oh, did she just admit to lying to her audience?
You're awesome. You're awesome.
You're awesome, Casper, and thank you for being with me. Thank you for helping. Thank you to your wife. Please hit subscribe to Casper. Please hit subscribe while you're in here with almost.
Yeah, hit subscribe, guys.
Guys, thank you for listening.
That's crazy.
Spread this if you can. I think it
My
needs to
wife's
be-
channel too is at Babe. Somebody asked. That's the only reason why.
I just want to say I don't hate it. I just think this is
Babe's breakdowns and
really
breakthroughs.
guys when somebody asks for help. But they want just thank you everyone. Please hit. You may want to listen to this again, and Casper's going to play it on his channel. Thank
There you
for
go.
being here,
We're gonna
Casper.
want us to do it again.
Guys,
Casper's gonna play it on his
stream.
channel.
Thank you guys.
I know that channel is called Grift Watch. I'm sure there's going to be other things on there. So, anyways, maybe go there, like and subscribe it. I don't know. Maybe wait for him to put more content out before you attach yourself to something like that. Because we're not really trying to. I mean, if it's all just going to be about Reese, then I don't know if I would subscribe to it. I don't know, but maybe I'd want to see if they put out new things. Just keep going back and checking, see if they put out other stuff. All right, guys. I want to thank all of you for everything that you've done for me today. I appreciate it. I'll check the tip and donate thing anyway, and I'll thank people tomorrow for anything that was sent there, if anything. And thank you so much. And thank you for listening to me on this subject. I don't think the discussion needs to end here about weaponizing race baiting. Actually, I don't think it is going to end here, because we do have these things to look forward to. Let me just, damn it, I already took it down. Well, I have a video on my channel, on this channel, called A Call for Prayer. 600K for screaming the N-word. I have that one, and I have Texas Outrage, and these are all about race relations, and where we're headed as a society right now. It's not by accident that this is happening right now. And when there's more proof that it's, maybe it's a big political movement, then we'll figure all that out together. But I am going to be covering it more. Reese just happened to fall right in line with it, and that was perfect. It gave me a foundation to work on how I felt about the entire situation, because when it wasn't personal, I didn't feel this way about it. When it was somebody else's issue, I just felt like, yeah, no, this is race baiting. There's going to be race wars, and it's all by design. Well, now it's a little more personal in a sense, right? I mean, I just got honorable mention. She didn't attack me like anything like she attacked the other guys, Knife Order, Susie, and Marilyn, Goot. She really attacked them, but she did give me honorable mention. So here we are. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. If I have a cancellation today, I will see you this afternoon. All right, guys. Mahalo. And I missed it.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay awake. This was morning